No, they gonna come regularly. Oh.
I guess I would just do it for you.
Good evening, everyone. Please stand for invocation, call to order. Let's bow our heads. Oh, gracious Lord, we thank you for this day that you have given us, oh Lord. Lord, we ask you, would you just please give us the wisdom and knowledge, oh Lord. Most of all, give us understanding, oh Father God. Father God, we ask you, would please protect DeSoto Parish and surrounding parish, oh Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Please follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President report, have none. Legal counsel report,
I'm sorry. None.
none. Any call for additions and deletions to the administrative committee? Being none, any guests and public comments to the administrative meeting?
That G?
Okay, yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
think
sir.
That's where they wanted me to speak.
Good evening.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So, thank y'all for this opportunity to sit in front of y'all and talk. My name is Justin Bagley, and today we're going to be discussing the Harps grocery store in Stonewall, Louisiana, a construction opportunity and also a tax incentive opportunity to discuss. So each one of you should have gotten an emailed PDF for the presentation. Did everyone get one?
Thank you.
Excellent, okay, all right. I think he said he's gonna have the displays up. I'm not sure if you guys can see them on your screens or not, but. They are. Okay, everybody can see them? Excellent, okay. So, I'm here today just to discuss the proposal of a construction of a Harps grocery store in Stonewall, Louisiana. It's located off Stonewall Frierson Road. We're gonna talk a little bit about the construction aspect of it. We're going to talk a little bit about the tax incentives that we're here to discuss with the police jury. We're going to talk about local and state incentives to support grocery store financial viability. We'll get into the economics a little bit, but we'll see that as it sits to date, we don't have the rooftops and we don't have the population to economically viably support a grocery store. So we're going to need some tax incentives if we'd like to continue. Some of the advantages of this is we're going to promote jobs. We're going to create larger local tax revenue, and trying to facilitate the community needs right now. As we said earlier, the population isn't financially viable for a grocery store currently. Under current financial advices, support analysis, we wouldn't be able to, if we continued with a 5% year-on-year growth rate, as we've seen in the last 3 to 5 years, it'd be 2035 before we would really have the population to support a grocery store. So, and then the last topic we'll discuss is the financial impacts to the police jury. Okay. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get a little bit about Harps. They're really an Arkansas-based company. They've got stores in Oklahoma, Missouri, some in Kansas, as well as their main holes in Springdale, Arkansas. So one thing that we like about them is they're an employee-owned company. They're actually rated third best supermarket retailer in the nation based on the consumer poll. They're not what we call a supermarket, so they're not going to be 30, 40,000 square feet on a basis. So that you'll see a little bit when we get into the numbers is that's a lot of the reason why you can't facilitate Brookshire's, you can't facilitate Kroger's, because the volumes that they work in for the grocery stores and sizes that they have, we can't facilitate that. The location is expected to employ 45 to 50 new jobs, and that's management all the way down to stockers. So this is a site plan. If you look up on the top right, it'll give you kind of a geographic location. You'll see in orange there's the Highway 171 running kind of north-south. And Stonewall Frierson running east-west. And there was a site location on there as well. So you can see it's a couple miles off of Stonewall Friars and due east of Highway 171. So this is actually the site plan that's been proposed by Harps, and this is what was proposed at the meeting, the town meeting with Stonewall as well. The grocery store is roughly going to be north of 25,000 square feet. It's going to facilitate 109 parking spots, and it's proposed to have a gas station as well. So this is the exterior elevation that's been proposed by Harps. It's just cosmetically appealing for everyone to see, but the real takeaway from this is that they have put a lot of consideration into this building and the development and taken along. So as we talked about earlier, the reality of is we spent some money up front understanding what Stonewall could facilitate. We're looking into what kind of development we could do on Stonewall Frierson. And the reality is we worked with a third-party vendor to help us with financial forecast and budgets and pro formas for the grocery store specific, because when we talk to people, a grocery store is something that we would really like to have, and internally we thought it'd be a great idea for a tax revenue for DeSoto Parish, as opposed to spending all our tax revenue in Caddo Parish going to Walmart or Aldi or any of the grocery stores up there. But the viability came back, as you can see highlighted in red. It's just hard to make money. The margins in grocery stores are pretty small. They're pretty expensive to build and construct. And so the net effect is it really wasn't that viable for anyone to come in and build a grocery store from the ground up. If anybody has any questions on this slide, please, more than happy to entertain. But the takeaway really is that you see it's almost a negative net profit. So that's what prompted, if we got to the end of it and said, well, look, it's not economically viable to bring a grocery store, despite what Facebook says, to Stonewall, Louisiana currently. And one point to add to that is we have to use analogs to basically build out the financial models, or the third party does. So one thing that is a party to that is most of these analogs that we had to use, like Brookshire's, Kroger's, and these other stores in Caddo, they do sell alcohol. So the viability study had to include alcohol because we can't discern alcohol from groceries on the breakdowns on those studies. But all of those grocery stores did have alcohol sales available. So that led us to the scenario of, all right, do we stop or what do we do next? And then that's where we were prompted to, with the state of Louisiana, to look into some economic incentive programs. The incentive programming we're utilizing is the economic development districts. They're just state authorized incentive programs that afford local and state entities to attract business that they're not currently financially viable for. So basically, the reality of the situation is Louisiana has incentive programs that allow you to get things in your town or parish probably prior to the time that they're ready for it. And the reality of that is that they want to bring businesses into some of these towns and let them thrive as the population grows and thrives with them. So the current EDD proposal that we're contemplating, or that we're going to have to facilitate in order to get the economics viable for Harps, is the two that we're going to discuss tonight is a capital tax abatement, and this is for construction materials and equipment. It's term limited, so basically the capital tax abatement, all it is for local and state tax. It allows us to abate the taxes for only materials and only equipment. So things like services and labor obviously would still be taxed, but we would be able to get or Harps would be able to get a tax abatement for materials and equipment. It's termed to 5 years. So let's say they come out here and they don't build it's 6 years or whatnot. It turns out they don't get the incentive. So we're trying to motivate them to get out here and press forward now. We want to realize this, and we want to see the revenue for the DeSoto Parish, for the town, and for the sheriffs and other taxable entities. But we want to see it now. The other part is it's capped at $1.2 million. That basis is, well, we feel like it's fully covered for the construction materials and equipment. Anything over that, that they would be fully, the tax abatement wouldn't fill. So, and when you think of it, they're kind of a bucket, and it's a race to fill them up first. So if you get to the $1.2 million per se before the 5 years, then it goes away. And if it gets to the 5 years before the $1.2 million comes, well, then it goes away. So same idea for the EDD for the property tax abatement. So what we're looking at is a 50% property tax abatement for 15 years. So what we wanted to do was have a community share there. We didn't want to allow them to take all of it. So what we wanted to do is make sure that the taxable entities were getting some revenue off of it. And once again, it's two buckets. If the property tax abatement doesn't fill up in the 15 years, it goes away. If it fills up the cap at $750,000 on the property tax abatement before the 15 years, then it goes away. And the reality of what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring a grocery store to Stonewall. We're trying to create taxable revenue to help support things like the school board, the police jury, so that we can have a trajectory from Stonewall that has been in a great direction up to now, and we would like to keep it consistent and add to. So the crux of when I think about this, if we'd want to do it or wouldn't want to do it, it comes down to this. Currently, the police jury receives a proportionate share of about $1,300. That's what I pay in property tax. That's what you guys, your proportionate share of that. Our projected future sales tax revenue per year, as it sits right now, for the police jury solely, is $107,000. So the estimated property tax, this one is, I'm not a tax appraiser by any means, so this is just utilizing the prices and then the mills that we would assess to it. 50% of that is probably around $13,500 is what we've calculated. So you would see police jury taking their proportionate share of the $13,500 on property tax. So that's a real high level look at it. If you have any questions, more than happy to address them. I just look at it simply as, hey, look, we're trying to bring something to the town of Stonewall, something good for DeSoto Parish, and it creates a revenue stream for police jury, for all taxable entities that vastly outweighs of what you're currently getting now.
Yes. Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got one.
Yes, sir.
I think you showed it on the map, but I still didn't see it with the turn away. The land that the store is going to be built on, would that be within the corporation limit of Stonewall, or would it be in the parish?
Yes, it will be in the town and within the parish.
I mean,
So-
where would it sit?
It would sit if on Stonewall, Frierson, if you know where the plantation is, the plantation subdivision, just due west of the plantation subdivision. So where they've got that development right currently in front of, just north of plantation, it would basically be there's a house, Miss Warren's house right there, and then there's a 10-acre or 14-acre frontage property that would be on right next to it.
Is that within the city limits of Stonewall?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I have one question. If your intentions are to try to sell alcohol, the voters voted that down just within the last, 4 years or so? Your intentions are to sell alcohol. Why would you not look for a place outside the town limits of Stonewall?
My intention is not to sell alcohol. My intention is to bring a grocery store here. Now, what they find is needing to sell alcohol or not is up to them. As I said, the only thing that I characterized was that alcohol sales were built into the financial models because we can't discern alcohol out of it.
Okay, well, I do know there's a petition going around.
I have nothing to do with that.
Also, the radius that you used for the housetop count, what radius, how far out did you go?
Well, we couldn't just use housetop rooftops because it didn't merit. So we had to get well into Keyfield. We had to get down to Logansport. We had to get out in Deadwood. I mean, we had to push far for rooftops. So basically, what we started to look at was population, projected growth in population, rooftops, yes, but then we had to basically take margins from other stores too, just from the access of Stonewall Frierson. So it's a pretty large radius. Right off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you, but it's a pretty large radius to constitute the numbers we got to.
Any more questions?
How they gonna know how much this grocery store gonna bring?
Ma'am?
How we gonna, I mean, how will we know how much this grocery store gonna bring? Did you
Yeah.
say we gonna get this kind of money or that kind of money or?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's not a fixed number. Those are off projections. But what would happen is the sales tax would go into an escrow, and then the Harps would keep a running number of what that tax base is going to be. But you're still going to get off sales tax revenue in particular. You're still going to get your percentage basis that's to the parish on every item sold in that grocery store.
Yeah, but our percentage basis, the lowest it is, the school board and sheriff's office gonna get.
Those projections that we presented there, the 107, that's basically looking at what the grocery store is projecting on their gross revenue, and then that sales tax basis is on that. So that number 107 is projected for the police jury individual. Gross, it's supposed to be about $500,000, I'd assume. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions? If not, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir. Administrator, please.
All right, administrative items. Number one, discuss and take action in new parish-wide compactor site hours of operation.
So move.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, what we could, on the compactor site, I mean, we cut some hours, I'm trying to see what hours are they cut.
It's gonna be
what
hours
needs to
cut.
stop.
Should be in the packet.
I'll take a stab at it.
We had two,
Page 6.
It should be page 3. Page 3, 4, 5.
had two proposed, compactor site hours sent out to you. One would be a total savings of like $212,000. And the other one, if we took it, it would be a savings of about $270,000.
Okay, and what two is that?
I beg your pardon, ma'am?
I'm trying to see what compactor sites are gonna be cut back. If the hours cut back, what hours are gonna be cut back at these compactor sites? That's what they saying, or I got
Yes.
that wrong?
Yeah, no, ma'am, you've got that right. The hours would be cut back. Just take, for instance, in my district, Long Street, which does not take in a whole lot of trash, but it's open 6 days a week. It would be open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So we'd be in essence cutting out Tuesday and Thursday and leaving it closed for those 2 days. Some of the rest of them would be similar to that. Some of them, the hours would be curtailed a little bit, make them all basically the same hours, where some are open different hours than others, try to get them all within the same. So,
I'd like to see that. See, I don't have, I
You
didn't
ha-
hear the,
It's,
Yeah, it's on page.
should be page 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your, 7,
here.
8.
It shows all the schedules right there, it's 2-3 pages. I haven't figured it out yet.
I'm trying to see the one in Oxford, what the hours gonna be for that. You got Pearson, you got
Tell her there,
Pelican,
Like,
have you got it right there?
6 to 10:30
6.
and 2:30 to 7.
No, that's current.
I'm the
Oh, that's the
current
current.
hours.
Current
They
hours are on
already-
top. Alternate schedule number 1 is underneath it. So, if
7.
you look at Oxford,
7 to 10:30, 2:30 to 6.
7 to 10:30 and 2:30 to 6. How many days a week?
that would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Saturday, 8 to 12
8 to
at
12.
Oxford.
Well,
8 a.m. to 12 noon.
I mean, who
Can-
come up with this?
Yeah, who when this proposal first came up, it came up by one of the employees because of a safety issue with daylight saving time over and getting darker. There was concern that operating to 7 o'clock, that hour after dark, they were kind of afraid of being out there by themselves during that time. And the proposal wasn't supposed to be where they would eliminate some of the hours. It would just set them back, just as we do with the road department. So how did this come about?
can I take?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go right ahead.
So this came about, Mr. Parker brought this up to Michael about 2 years ago. And I think Kyle,
Okay.
they looked at the schedule because some of these compactor sites, let's just take Oxford, for example. Oxford gets taken to the dump twice a month on average. Actually, less than twice a month, 1.8 times a month. But the man hours are just as much as a compactor site that gets dumped 61 times a month. So we're trying to find, it doesn't make sense, especially business sense, to have a compactor site open 74 hours of man time when it can be manned in a third of that. And we can save $270,000 of the taxpayers' money to go towards roads or whatever else we may need.
Y'all say that, this will get me. Now, y'all wanna cut this compactor site, some for the people. Cause I used the one in Oxford, cause I got a place down there. So I do use the one in Oxford a lot of time. And y'all wanna cut that and inconvenience the people on that. But you'll spend millions and millions and millions on a new jail. I can't understand it. I can't. I mean, y'all always talking about we're gonna do this to save money. We save it for what? To spend on what y'all want to spend it on? Cause that's what all we saving it on.
We could save this money for a,
All right, man, excuse,
go ahead.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, Mr. Fuller.
Yes, my concern is like, we ask the taxpayer to pass the tax, and they pass the tax for these compactor sites, for the landfill, all these things. Now we're taking that away from them? We fooled them to pass, I say we fooled them to pass the tax, we got them to pass the tax. Saying this is for this, now, after they pass the tax, okay, well, we gonna change this, we gonna change that, we gonna cut. Why you didn't tell people we can cut the hours from the beginning? You said 2 years ago when it came up. That's what you said 2 years ago?
I got another example.
I'm curious why didn't it come up before the tax, saying, well, we're gonna do this too?
Well, I think whenever the tax was passed, there was no schedule out at all as far as a certain schedule. And the schedules have been changed since. So changing the schedule is not out of the ordinary. Some are closed on different days than others. We have a few that's even open on Sunday, as in comparison to others that never have a Sunday open. So the hours have been changed in the past already. Ms. Trina, you have something to state?
Yes, I have a question. As far as looking at the current schedule and the alternate schedule, my question is, who sat down to make the decision on who get what hours?
Michael did this.
Michael came
Okay.
up with a schedule.
Okay, and then it was brought, now, Mr. Norton made the schedule, then the schedule is brought to us to vote. So as jurors, we don't have any input on,
Yes,
This
ma'am.
should have
That's
came
what
through a
we're-
committee.
that's the problem that I'm having.
This should have came through a committee.
This is only one person, our
Would this not be day to day? I mean, we don't make schedules for,
it's not
No,
appointed.
it's not for
People
day to
at,
day. We do
we don't do schedules for the road department, we don't do schedules for people at the landfill. Why should we be in control of the schedules at the compactor
But why
site?
should one individual be in control? We should have had a voice to look at the schedule. Do not just throw it on me to expect me to vote right now. That's the problem, without me actually looking over it. You give it to me and send it to me in an email and expect for me to look at it, but I didn't have a decision in attempting to decide on what hours, what days. I have a problem with that. Now, that's me.
These are our constituents, not Mike's.
And this is not the proposal that was presented to Mr. Norton. When did he start working on this?
Mr. Jimmy, am I correct
He-
in saying this came up earlier in the year?
It came up early in the year.
It was asked to
Okay.
defer it to the budget season.
It was said to defer until budget season so that we could, you know,
So
come up
we-
with something before the budget and then do the budget and
That's why Mr. Norton put this together for the budget.
Yeah, but
For
Mr.
y'all to
Norton ain't,
discuss.
Mr. Norton, that's not in his thing. That's who we pay to do that. Why Mr. Norton making the schedules in the first place? Cause what we paying this man for? If Mr. Norton gonna run the landfill, if Mr. Norton gonna run the road department, what we paying these superintendents and stuff for roads and the landfill? That should have been something he did, not Mr. Norton.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr.
I like to, I
Rodriguez.
understand both sides. I like to make an alternate motion to put this through a workshop. Need
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
to
you.
go through a workshop.
I second
Second that motion.
Hash it out.
Mr. Fuller seconded, so I guess if there's any discussion on the alternate motion or you vote on that one.
I got one more point.
Yes, sir.
I think needs to be made, just so that people understand what's going on. Sloan Road takes 9 dumps every month on average, 9. And they have 83 working hours. Stonewall takes 83 dumps a month, and they have 74 man hours. Mansfield, South Mansfield has 61 dumps a month, and they have 83 working hours. Logansport has 70 working hours, and they take 38 dumps on average. So there's a big discrepancy, and we're wasting money on certain compactor sites that it can be allocated correctly if it's managed properly. So I'm glad this was brought up, because it needs to be looked at.
Yes, Mr. Layton, we, you know, all those points could be made at the workshop that we have. All those points you made, they could be
I
made at the
agree.
workshop. Doesn't need, no need to be bringing it out here, plus we're gonna be, we discuss it out there.
Call for a
And when we,
question, Mr.
when,
Holmes.
one other point, when we talked to Mr. Norton about this, he didn't, this wasn't even brought up. Am I correct, Mr. Fuller?
Say again?
When we made the proposal, I talked to Mr. Norton, I think last week, about, the schedule that needed probably be adjusted because of daylight saving time. And he didn't bring this up. It wasn't discussed to take hours away or whatever, but, you know, this could be all discussed in the
We can
workshop.
put that in the budget to put new lights out there. I mean, if people are scared of the dark.
It's not about dark.
You said they're
That's not
scared
the
of the
safety
dark.
issue.
I call for question.
Yeah, because we're getting a whole different thing. I can tell you about the dark, man. We operate the same way with the library system. We change the hours during daylight saving time.
All right, we have a alternate motion by Mr. Ross and seconded by Mr. Fuller to send it to a workshop. All right, let's vote on that. All right, motion passed. And item number 2, reappoint Jason McConaughey and Jody Warren to the DeSoto Fire District Number 1 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all, no discussion, vote.
I voted.
One remaining.
Who missing, Jody?
Ms. Burrell?
Motion passed. Item number 3, reappoint Kenny Sanchez, Chad Burford to the DeSoto Parish Fire District Number 2 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
That's,
If not, vote. Motion passed. Item number 4, reappoint Hugh McConnell to the DeSoto Parish Fire District Number 3 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
so move.
Have a motion, second. I'll make a second. Any discussion? Why do we only have one here? Don't we normally have two for each fire district?
There's only, in the situation, this is in 3 different fire districts. There's only 2 appointed by the parish to the board, and they are on every other year.
Every other
So
year.
you only have 1 a year.
Okay. No more discussion, vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I voted. I apologize.
All right, motion passed. Item number 5, reappoint Ron Krager to the DeSoto Parish Fire District Number 5 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Have a motion?
Second.
Second, Mr. Jones. Any discussion there? None, vote. Motion passed. Item number 6, accept the resignation of Tommy McMillan and appoint a new member to the DeSoto Parish Fire District Board, Number 5 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term. I nominate Mr. Brian Walker.
Second.
Is he here?
Is Mr. Walker here tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay, what about this, you find it?
Down on that end. I think that's,
Okay, any discussion on Mr. Walker? He was recommended by Mr. McMillan, so.
Okay. Like, nominate somebody.
If not, vote.
Can I, but they had it stated like both of them leaving the board.
Accept the resignation. It's fixed on my end.
Ma'am?
It's fixed here.
Yes.
I took out a point. My bad.
Okay.
We nominating the other person on this vote?
The other one we just voted on, Mr. Ron Krager, right above him. And this one here was Mr. Tommy McMillan, but he resigned, so we're accepting his resignation and voting on Mr. Walker to take his place.
All in one.
Brian Walker, yeah.
Different on the screen, but it's.
Oh, okay,
Miss.
okay. You're right.
You gonna get that correct? Yes, sir. Okay. All right, item number 7, number 6 passed. Item number 7, reappoint Bobby Etheridge and Tim McQuarrie to the DeSoto Fire District Number 9 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, vote. Motion passed. Item number 8, reappoint Roy Myers to the DeSoto Fire District Number 8 Board of Commissioners, serving a 2-year term.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
I'm not used to you second.
Gotta be a good guy for him to do that.
Any discussion? All right, if none, vote. Motion passed. Item number 9, discuss solar farm ordinance. Have a motion by Mr. Jones,
Second.
second by Mr. Latham.
Are they here?
Yeah,
I
they back
see it.
there.
Oh, okay.
That was Mr. Fuller made.
Fuller made the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Fuller. Yeah.
I see it.
Any discussion on the solar farm ordinance?
Mike's not here, I'll give you
All right,
a quick introduction. Ms. McKay and Mike have worked on this in the past, and brief overview of what this ordinance entails is just an application process of what information they need to provide to us to apply for a solar farm in the parish, as well as the technical data and so forth. It has setback requirements, that how far you can set back from a residential property, setbacks from the roads and so forth like that. It has language in there for vegetation that, to shield if there's a home nearby, what the vegetation requirements are, such as tree cover or some landscaping that needs to be implemented and so forth. And it goes into, after the life of the project has ceased, how you're to go about removing the infrastructure and so forth like that. But it goes in, as you can tell, it's many pages deep. It goes into quite detailed, but that's just some of the high points of what this is going to cover. Ms. McKay has worked on this a great deal, and she can probably answer some of the questions that she's worked through as well, and what this was modeled after and so forth. But this is just brought to today for discussion, and so y'all can review and look at the ordinance and pose any questions, any changes that you see that might need to be made. I don't believe we're asking to take any action today, just a chance to review and to get this on your radar so we can take action in the future.
Right. Michael had asked me to draft some proposed ordinances, and so I did. We knew it was a lot of material and might take a while to consider or modify or reject, whatever the jury's will was. So we knew it was quite a lot of material, so we wanted to go ahead and just put it on the agenda so you would have the materials. We're not asking you to take any action today, just make them available to you for your consideration, to consider some future action.
all right, any more discussion on number 9, solar farm ordinance? Thank you there, Mr. Brister. All right, item number 10, authorize the president to sign a resolution approving a payment in lieu of tax agreement in accordance with a term sheet requesting the Northwest Louisiana Finance Authority enter into said payment in lieu of tax agreement and providing for other matters with respect therewith. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Simpson.
Right here.
All right, no second. Item number 10 will fail. Item number 11, adopt a resolution authorizing the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the sheriff's office to purchase radio communications equipment. Do I have a motion?
Move.
I'll make a motion. All right, motion by Mr. Latham,
Second.
second by Ms. Simpson.
When you question radio communication, help me out on this.
Well, I questioned Mr. Norton on this also. Said for radio communications equipment, I was wondering why maybe the sheriff or the 911 people wouldn't be purchasing this, but he assured me this is for our radios.
It is.
And something about the frequency that we're on now, or is
Yes,
going out of
sir.
date, and we have to get with
You gotta upgrade those frequencies, and the CEA is because the sheriff will be the one that actually has the contract to be able to purchase those radios at a, compatible price.
Discounted price.
Yes.
But
so-
it's radios for us.
It is radios for the road department and some of the foremen that use it, superintendents.
just the CEA with the sheriff just allows us to get them at a cheaper rate.
Okay.
And
And of course, they will do the frequency,
right, and it also ensures the compatibility.
Did we see the paperwork? Y'all sent the paperwork? Cause I didn't get a thing, so I don't know. On that,
10 is just second.
the resolution.
Huh?
I missed 10 is
The CEA is attached to it.
the grocery store. Yeah, I'd like to second that. I mean, I know we passed it up,
Yeah.
but
kind of hard now.
yeah, that was
It's on
done
page
pretty
29.
quickly. It was kind of, it's written,
Yeah, it's very abstract.
is written kind of deceivingly. It didn't talk about what the tax was until it got there. I didn't see that.
All right, any more discussion on this number 11? If not, we'll vote.
Can we go back to that?
We'll see if everybody's in agreement. We're not supposed to.
Not supposed to, but I guess you could make a motion to
Who?
Ms. Burrell and Mr.
to amend, to
Mr. Latham.
reconsider it
Voting on the
if it goes by unanimous
CEA
verdict.
here right now.
And this is for the road department, y'all say.
Probably make a motion to amend to
Yes,
reconsider
ma'am.
item number 10.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You'd have to have a unanimous verdict to do that. I mean,
Mhm.
hold that back.
Yeah. Say that
All right,
again.
motion passed.
Motion to amend.
All
To
right.
reconsider item,
Yeah,
All right, we have a request to reconsider item number 10. If everybody is in agreement, it'll have to be unanimous vote to go back to number 10. So we'll take a roll call vote to reconsider item number 10.
What is that?
Why are we reconsidering?
That's it's
the
not
grocery
very
store.
clearly written on the agenda, but that's the grocery store.
That's for the grocery store.
Yeah, that's not very clearly written on the agenda.
Okay.
I mean, why we
Yeah.
reconsidering, you didn't get a motion?
Well, that's what I was
right.
wanting to second it, but it was not very clearly on what it was. We had a motion,
Had a motion
but no second,
to
and I'd like to second that
Why didn't you say?
because it went so quickly. And it's not written very clearly in the agenda on that it's for the
Oh,
grocery
he
store.
gave you plenty of time.
I mean,
All right, roll call vote. Mr. Baker? Ms. Burrell?
No.
All right, that settles it. Back to it. All right, item number 12. Approve the recommendation by the DeSoto Parish Planning Commission suggesting re-implementing a moratorium for a period of 6 months on all future subdivisions to disallow the selling of any lots by the developer utilizing the statement, "Clear title is not available on any lot until all improvements and installations have been made," as a stated condition in Part 3, D-3, in the DeSoto Parish subdivision regulations. The developer will be allowed to sell lots if one of the 3 remaining conditions listed in Part 3, Section D1, D2, and D4 are met.
So move.
All right, have a motion by Mr. Rodriguez Ross,
second.
second by Ms. Simpson.
We have any
Discussion.
discussion for, what does this
I
entail?
think we did this once before, did we not, Michael?
The planning proposed 2 moratoriums. One was for a year and one for 6 months. I'm really not sure why the one was for 6 months, but this is just to renew that second one, to have both of them for the year, to finish out the year. And hopefully until we get the permanent rewrite of the subdivision regulations in place is what the goal of the moratorium is, to be a placeholder until we rewrite the regulations, which is currently in progress. But this is the same language, exact same
Right.
moratorium that we approved earlier this year. It's just renewing it for another 6 months.
Any more discussion?
Oh, no.
And what the language is, there was a clause in the subdivision regulations that allowed if you put on the plat,
Go back on there.
you know, it was worded, if you put it, that there's no clear lien, or no clear title on the plat that you can move forward with selling lots, we're revoking that, we're not allowing that anymore. You have to either complete the subdivision work or put up a bond That's your two options now. That's what we removed. That note on the plat that allowed you to sell lots without completing construction was removed.
Okay.
That's the change that was made with the note. You either
I
have to
mean,
complete the
that's the
construction-
one you changed the last time,
Yes, ma'am, that's the same thing we changed last time.
cause I'm hearing something different.
No, ma'am, it'd be business as usual, nothing would change for what we've done the last 6 months with implementing this.
So we not trying to keep certain people from selling lots, right?
No, ma'am.
All right, any more discussion? If not, vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 13, authorize the president to execute the annual bridge certification resolution. I make a motion.
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Fuller. Any discussion on this? Not vote.
Mr. Burrell and Mr. Jones. Mr. Burrell.
All right, motion passed. I have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Budget and finance, please.
Call Budget and Finance Committee to order. Call for any additions or deletions to the agenda. Hearing none, any guests and public comments? Hearing none, budget and finance items. Amend the 2025 approved budget transfer to the sinking fund to go towards a correctional facility, 1 million from solid waste tipping fees, 2 million from general fund, and the current fund balance.
That should be 2024 budget.
Now we're at the
I got it.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second from
Second.
Mr. Jones? Any further discussion? Please vote now. Motion passes. Item number 2, authorize the administrator to sign a revised professional service agreement with the Newman Marshy for professional service for the detention facility in the amount of $535,250 by amending the correctional facility fund in the said amount.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do I have any further discussion?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Y'all saying this what we owe?
Ma'am,
Y'all saying this what we gonna pay?
this is paying for all the engineering services to put the project back out for bid. And I think it also pays for some of the construction of it.
Good Lord. That's a lot of money. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Any other discussion? So please vote now. Motion passes. Item number 3, authorize the purchase of a 24 by 24 engraved brick in the amount of $5,075 for the DeSoto Regional Health System Foundation.
So moved.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I'm
You're
gonna
not on
take
the
yours, but you're not on my
Right, I
committee.
ain't on the committee, I
I
forgot.
second for discussion.
Nah.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion,
Question,
okay?
engraved brick, is this something
This-
like a
this is-
plaque?
This is basically a donation to the DeSoto Regional Health System for the construction of the new hospital wing that they're building at the hospital. And these are paver bricks, and that's what it is.
Oh, okay, so we purchasing a engraved brick for $5,075.
Mr. Baker, can I ask you to put on that motion to amend the general budget for that amount?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion?
Yes, sir, and that particular brick would say donated by the DeSoto
Yes.
Parish Police Jury.
Yes, it does.
That's what I know.
It's in here, it says. So I was like, what is it called?
Lee, ain't there a picture of
$5,000
this?
brick.
Yeah, it's in the back of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's back
picture
there.
of it in there now.
This
Okay.
point, put all our
Okay.
names on it. Put my name
Yeah.
on that brick.
With logo.
Y'all please vote now.
Brick.
Oh,
See that? You
here we go. Motion passes. Item number 4, amend the general budget and approve the president to sign a corporate endeavor agreement with the city of Mansfield to contribute funding in the amount of $70,000 to purchase fire equipment.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Do I have discussion?
I'd like to, I'd make that $70,000 to donate to Mansfield, but also another $70,000 per fire district, for each fire district in the parish.
May I say something, Mr. Baker?
Yes. I have an amended motion right now. Do I have a second on that?
I can't
amendment?
make,
He's not on the
I'm not
committee.
on the committee, but that's what I'd like to see. If we're gonna give $70,000 to one fire department, I think we need to give it to every fire department in the parish.
You know what? Now, I
Yes,
just
Ms.
want,
Burrell.
He's before you.
oh,
I see they passed out a description of the amount. There was a typo on one of the purchase, number 1, $20,500. You need eight times 122 is not $20,500. So that was a typo. So it's actually come up to be $48,023.
Comes up to be how much again?
48,000.
Okay. And $23?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, I see it. I see it.
Well,
According to the quote.
well, if it is gonna be considered to be amended to 48023, somebody on that committee
committee.
needs to make an alternate motion to approve that 48023 amount instead.
Could you say something about the alternate motion? What was it?
Right, the
In your-
president
your pass out?
pointed out that the actual math on the proposal was not, there was a typo, and so the actual amount submitted on the documentation supports $48,023 and not $70,000. And I said that if that is what the committee wanted to do, somebody on the committee needed to make an alternate motion for the 4823.
Ms. McKay, the paperwork I'm seeing here looks like there's two different invoices or two different quotes.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
if-
not sure if that's adding up at 36,622 plus 30,936.
I don't know, it wasn't included in my packet, I don't have that document.
So we need
I think it is. If you look at item number 1
item number
on
one.
page, the first page,
Okay,
it's for 4-inch sheetrock hooks, 4 feet long with D handles.
okay,
They need 8 of them.
okay.
At price $122. Okay, total amount is $20,500.
I see what you're doing.
That's what it
Okay,
comes
so
to.
that's not
That's
right.
not
That's not
correct.
That's not correct.
Yeah, that's not correct.
So it's actually $976 for 8 of them.
I see what you're saying.
And that was made, that correct was made on the sheets. I see above them in the amount.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to pass it out to everyone. I saw it
Okay.
and want everybody to see it.
Okay,
The correction was made.
We found that correction here. We made those corrections.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
So I make that alternate motion?
Second, make correction.
4834.
You didn't get a set?
Can you get a second?
I'm not on the
Oh,
committee.
No.
Did you make the alternate motion there now?
Yes.
Did you get a second?
yes, he
Yes.
did.
Mr. Fuller.
Mr. Fuller,
Full second.
We still ready for
Is there any other questions?
Yes, sir. I just, this in reference to what Mr. Holmes said. It's like this. Cause if we help the city of Mansfield, don't mean we need to help every other 5 district. I mean, come on. Now, what if we came back, the jurors from Mansfield came back and say, y'all want us to pass this for Stonewall, a new dump site? What if we came back and said, well, okay, we want y'all to give $400,000 to every dump site around here? Did you see where I'm going with that? That's senseless. That don't even make sense. And like I said, keep expressing. Look, Mansfield take care of nearly every building the police jury got. Every one of them. And y'all want to sit here and say that y'all don't be reaping the benefits from Mansfield? Yes, y'all do. Just last Friday night, Mansfield, revenue from every hotel around here, they sold it out. Every hotel in Mansfield was sold out. Y'all reap the benefits. The parish reaps the benefits off that. The liquor stores and stuff sold out. Y'all reap the benefits from that. I'm just telling the truth. I'm showing y'all the impact that it had. And we want to holler about y'all don't reap the benefit. All of this our parish. This ain't no Mansfield, Stonewall, Logansport. This DeSoto Parish. The people in Mansfield ain't no important to me than the people in Stonewall, or the people in Logansport, or the people in Stanley, or the people, Pole Pelican, just getting left out of everything. Honestly. And I'm just so tired of that. Come on, y'all. God ain't pleased with what we be doing around here. And he gonna take action. He already taking it.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I have a comment, Mr. Bacon.
Go ahead.
In my idea, what's not fair, according to Ms. Burrell, is the fact that every other citizen in the parish pays for their fire protection. The people in Keachai, Fire District 1, 2, people in Stonewall, their fire district, every one of the fire districts pay a tax for their fire protection. And so they're paying for their fire protection. So why is it fair for the town of Mansfield to come to the parish to get the parish tax dollars to fund their fire department. If they can't fund it themselves, maybe they need to join Fire District 8.
No.
Another fire district. Yeah, that's right.
No, Mr.
So that's the part that's not fair.
Yes, it is.
No, it is.
Y'all,
You tell me how it's fair for me to
Cause
pay for
y'all
my
reap-
taxes and you
y'all
not to
reap-
pay for yours.
Y'all reaping the
You tell me how it's fair for me to pay for my fire district, my fire taxes, and you not to pay for anything.
It ain't fair. Y'all reap the benefits from the stuff go on down here.
We
Yes, you do.
We
Yes,
do.
y'all do.
We do. All
Call
of
for
us
the
do.
question, Mr. Baker.
Call for the question.
I think the mayor had.
You silly.
Yes.
One commission to you, man, so I'll actually come. Fire chief, one come in.
Already.
You called for the question. The
Yes.
proper
Yeah, we
procedure is to have the committee members vote on call for the question, and then you vote on the question.
But he was trying to make a comment, though.
It's not comment time.
I understand that, but his.
Once you recognize someone on a committee to call for the question, the proper procedure is the committee members vote on whether you're calling for the question. And if they say yes, then the question is voted on without further commentary. If they reject it, then further commentary is allowed.
Okay.
Ms. Trina. They wait on your vote, Ms. Trina?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
We're adjourned.
Road committee, please.
Road committee will come to order. Are there any additional deletions for the road committee? Hearing none, are there any guests or public comments for the road committee? Please step forward.
Mr. James Taylor.
Did I see one? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine, fine.
Simpson Road.
Can you set your name for
Let me say your name.
Speaking here,
It's Amy Dunn.
Okay.
Y'all probably heard of me a lot, because I call in a lot.
Oh.
370 Simpson Road. It's off of Bethlehem Road, off of Highway 5.
Yeah.
Disposal waste.
Select disposal. Right.
We got a lot of issues out there. Lot of issues. Y'all got any
Okay, go ahead.
ideas on how you're gonna fix that road?
Well, here's my deal.
A lot of them not familiar with the road,
Yeah,
so would you
familiar.
elaborate?
Let me familiarize you with it. You got select disposal out there. Over 200 18-wheelers a day traveling a quarter of a mile. Don't question my number, because I done put a camera up and I done checked it 3 times. The permits man was out there today to get more permits for more trucks. We've been hearing for 3 years the road's gonna be fixed. Road's gonna be fixed. For 3 years, I've been trying to find out who our district person is out there, but guess what? Nobody up here even knows that.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows who the police jury member is over that district right
Police
there.
jury for there.
Huh?
I'm the police jury. Did you ask?
Oh, they don't know who you are.
They don't know
sir.
who you are.
They don't know who I am.
No, apparently not.
I went to every house in that district, so I don't know why they don't know
Well,
me.
you ain't been to my house.
Okay.
But here's the deal. I had brain surgery. I had to call every week because of that road. You know why? Because I can't get beat, bounced, and jarred around. So what I had to do, walk a quarter of a mile every day if I wanted to go to the grocery store, or if I need to go get gas, or if I got to go to a doctor's appointment. In 3 years, that road's been touched one time that we didn't call in to get it repaired. But for 3 years, we're hearing, oh, we're gonna do something, we're gonna do something. Well, it's amazing to me, we're gonna do something, we can't even find out who's out there running that district.
Are we
We
talking
get it.
about
Who you heard that
Simpson
they
or
were gonna do
Bethlehem?
something from?
Sir?
Who did you hear they were gonna do something from?
The road guys out there fixing the road, because every time they come, I keep asking them, what we gonna do?
So who
What we
did you
gonna
speak
do?
with? Do you know?
Do I?
They didn't tell you who the police were?
No, sir,
No.
they did not. They told us they didn't know.
They don't know who he is.
If you ask anybody in them trucks, nobody knows nothing. You think it's funny too? I don't think it's funny that I gotta walk a quarter mile so I can go to a daggum doctor.
I'm just curious at how they don't know who the police jury is.
I'm curious, too.
That's what, that's.
Do you
Very
know?
curious.
Do you know where Bethlehem Road is?
Yes, ma'am. I know exactly what you're talking about. Mike, can you?
Can you drive down that road twice a day like we do? Can you?
Say it again now?
Can you drive down that road twice a day like we do?
Oh, it's rough. I know.
Oh, it's rough.
It's more
Rough
than
ain't
I've
the word
spoken
for
with
it.
Michael. Can you explain what we spoke about this road particular?
Currently, we have a preliminary plan established for a concrete turnout at the Highway 5 location so the trucks can twist and turn without breaking up the asphalt, and completely repave and elevate the road from Highway 5 to the back of the facility right there, that select facility. We're gonna have 20-foot lanes. We're in the process right now. There's I believe there's about 7 to 8 utilities that cross under that road, as well as the power line. And then we also need some additional right-of-way. And that's the phase that we're in right now. If we can get the right-of-way and get the utilities moved, we're ready to go to construction. We have it funded and we have the design completed. We just need to complete the right-of-way work and the utility work at this point.
Okay.
We've been doing that since before Mr. Brown left. We've been working on it before Mr. Steve Brown left. So it's not that we haven't been trying to work on the road. We have been trying to get the road fixed.
Well, for 3 years.
When did Mr. Brown
For
leave?
3 years, I have called every week for 3 years. And they come out and they temporarily patch the road.
Yes.
Temporarily.
Yes, ma'am.
The big
We shouldn't have
trucks,
to call.
Temporary to do it.
the big trucks block the road. A fire and ambulance cannot get to us. There's an elderly couple that lives right by me.
But we have been working on it. It's not like we haven't. We have been working on this road for a long time.
All I'm saying,
Yes, ma'am.
this is the first meeting I've come to.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a shame we have to come to the meeting to bring it up when
But
we
the-
have to call to get it patched because nobody.
I'll make sure I give you my number before you leave then.
I would love to
Yes,
have it,
I
because,
guess.
you know, for us to have to call
Yes, sir.
to get it patched.
Yeah.
For
Miss
nobody to show up
Rose-
to patch it.
Miss
unless we call.
Rose
It's
lives
ridiculous.
on Bethlehem Road, right off of Bethlehem Road. Her name is Miss Rose.
Yeah.
She's an elderly woman. She won't even drive down that road.
No, I understand. I
She's
have
so
a lot-
scared.
A lot of my kin people do it. I never. So I understand what you're saying about the road. When I ran, I understand. I had that whole road paved until this dump site came in there. The road was paved good.
Well, I might.
And
there's
again,
plenty of permits
like I
and plenty
said,
of
once
bonds
those
on that
trucks
road.
came in
Should've
there,
done that at 6
now we didn't
by
saw
now.
a cement now, but it was paved. Not for that type of traffic. For cars, it was paved for cars.
Yeah.
But this type of traffic, this is
How many
crazy
bonds you
traffic.
got-
I understand what you're
How many bonds
saying.
you have on that road for them 18-wheelers?
Sir,
How many bonds are on that road for them 18-wheelers and permits for them 18-wheelers?
I mean, it's crazy.
How
I
many?
understand.
How
Do you
many?
know how many? Do you know how many?
No,
That's
I
the
don't
point.
know.
Well,
I
I
heard
think the
what he said,
project has
200,
been
over 200.
funded. It's been funded.
It
Well,
has been
and that's what we
funded.
keep hearing.
Yeah.
We keep hearing. From the guys that come out there to work on the road, we ask questions.
It was supposed to be paved and fixed last year. What we were told.
But see, if someone had told you well, I don't know who told you that. I'll put it
You
like
might
that.
need to talk to y'all's people that
Okay.
work
Hey,
for
if
y'all
you don't
and
mind,
find
will you
out
get
any people
names
in
or
the
who you
office.
speak with as well?
That's not a problem. We can do that.
Yes, sir. Please do that for me. So
That's not a problem.
Because I don't want people making vain promises that not gonna happen.
Well, you're
That's
right.
my thing. Everybody that I've spoken with about that road, I shared with. I got with Mike, even Mr. Brown before he left. We was working on getting that road fixed.
We called them this morning about
I
getting
called him
patched.
this morning, and Miss Brittany knows me well.
Yes.
So I call every week if that road, it's almost impassable, and I drive a Ford F-250. And when you drive a Ford F-250, you think you can handle it? No.
I
That
passed
sucker-
by
that they're
there.
rocking. It's horrible.
2 weeks ago, 2 Saturdays ago, and when I understand the dust. I mean, it was like it's crazy.
Well, I'm gonna start
I
sending
understand
my
what you're saying, the
alignment
roughness and the
bills to
dust.
y'all.
So I understand.
Y'all gonna fix my truck.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
But I will give you my number before you leave.
I would appreciate that.
Darnell,
Thank you.
I got a question for Mr. Mike.
Go ahead, Mr.
Michael, do you think it's feasible to maybe reclaim it temporarily until
That's not gonna help.
reclaim it?
Oh, see, it ain't gonna. Not the way they beat. No.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The reclaiming will help.
I can meet with Mr. Woodley and see what we can do temporarily.
Right.
One of the delays with this project was this is where our capital outlay money was applied.
Yeah.
And the capital outlay was delayed last year. And of course, working through the utilities and the right-of-way phase is taking some time at this point. But if we can get through that phase, we're ready to go to construction here shortly.
Yeah,
As soon
I
as we
think
can
we could
complete that.
reclaim it and lay it back out. It'll suit them very well.
Mr. Woodley and myself will get
Thank
together on that.
Okay, moving on to road items. Discuss the overlaying of Metcalf Road.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Oh, you stood with his hand up?
Come on, Mr. Taylor. Yeah, Mr. Taylor on guessing public comments.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was Amy Dunn.
I thought that's what it was, yeah.
I'm James Taylor.
Yes,
I
sir.
live at 13 Laura Street. And y'all put in a culvert in my front yard, basically, it's 4 foot.
The cross drain, yeah.
And it has destroyed my property. It has just washed the roots away from trees, and trees are fixing to start falling. I need some help on that place. And I've asked several different people, and y'all have told me nothing. I need something to be done. So what do I need to do other than talk with y'all now?
You just did it.
Well,
What's that?
You just told us about it. My foreman is back there, engineer back there, we're gonna check on it.
Oh, they did.
can I say something on there?
Yeah,
Let me back up. This gentleman, he came in, this Laura Street came up probably about a month ago or 2 months. The reason I haven't got back with you, have to be 90 days before we get back on the agenda for to talk about it, to
I don't
actually
think
do
it's gonna
something.
last 90 days. That storm tomorrow might get it.
Yeah.
You can ask her. She come and looked at it. Those trees.
That was me, but yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. You came and looked at it. I'm
He
sorry.
did, and I reported it, and I got them to come out there and look at it,
The
and they
engineers.
know what he talking about, and he is most definitely right. It has washed all the soil off from around the trees and has washed all the way up to this man's house, about this full. You just can't go to his backyard on the side of the house with that deep creek. And I put it on the agenda, and I couldn't even get a second, sir.
Well, it's destroyed all this stuff since y'all put that 4-foot culvert in.
Yep.
Y'all, why y'all replace a 2-foot culvert with a 4-foot culvert to start with? That don't make no sense to me.
That's what I was
Sure
gonna
got me
ask.
started from there.
You need an engineer has to answer that.
What? Mr. Norton, I mean, Mr. Reister, yes.
We have gone out and met Mr. Taylor, and the issue is that the work needs to be done on private property, and that's why it was brought before the jury, before we acted on the work. And that's what we're asking is, do we have permission to complete the work on private property? It's gonna require removing some trees and possibly putting revetment in that ditch to keep it from washing in the future. This is an outfall that comes from that KCS subdivision and that, I believe it's Hilltop subdivision that's right there on Lower Street. Flows under the road and goes to a
Yeah.
drainage pond out there behind the house and so forth like that. And that, I believe, the last time it was brought up, it didn't go to a vote, so I don't believe we have to.
Right, it failed. That was the problem. It failed.
We don't have to wait the 90 days, I don't believe.
Is
It's not gonna
I'm
last
sorry.
90 more days.
Well, you don't have to wait 90 days if 2/3 of the body will agree to put it back on the agenda, even though it failed within 90.
They didn't even.
You can put it back on the agenda if 2/3 of the body votes to put it back on the agenda before the 90-day.
Is that portion in the city limits, Laura Street?
It's just
First
outside,
house out of the city.
just to the north of
Just
the city
outside?
limits.
And y'all put the culvert in, and that's what's causing the erosion?
The road department did place the culvert, it was a upgrade in the culvert, yeah.
So we put it in, we upgraded, seemed like we made a mistake with the upgrade in it, so we need to fix it, basically.
It may increase the velocity. I don't know if it was a mistake for the larger culvert. You know, the larger velocity allowed some additional erosion control. It may have been a mistake that we didn't place some additional riprap and so forth at the mouth of the culvert. Of course, this was, I wasn't involved.
I was
in the
just gonna say,
project.
would you, okay.
He wasn't here when it was done, but that's not the first time I have complained, cause I've been over there when it was the big rain and storm, and I see the water coming through that big culvert. I see it washing these people's property away, and I feel so sorry for him, cause he's right. They might not make this storm tonight, cause I'm looking for them trees to fall on them folks' house just any day, and it's gonna be our fault. It is.
I personally could go, yeah, it is a fine line to walk on this one, whether it's, jury responsibility or not. Yeah, I could lean either way on it as far as my opinion goes. That's what they said, we're asking the jury. If we were to proceed with this, we would get a drainage easement to maintain that drainage easement is the way I would suggest we go with it. We establish that as a drainage easement flowing out of that culvert, and that would be our responsibility from there on out to maintain that drainage easement. Yeah, I think that'd be the proper way to go about that.
Right, and the jury would have to find there's a public purpose to perform work on, to either obtain the easement or perform work on private property.
So y'all gonna vote on it now or what? Bring it back up?
Not on the committee, we gotta have a motion, an alternate motion. I'm not on the committee.
Well, you're not
Mr. Turner, with the sheriff, he's asking, would it be, but because it's not on the agenda,
It's on the agenda, that's it, Laura Street.
it's for discussion.
Oh, discussion, okay.
I can't.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion that we go ahead and address, Lower Street in the KCS subdivision.
What is that mean?
Well, we need to get a motion before we can go ahead and have them fix it.
So somebody got to
I
second.
think you need to make a call for an addition to the agenda, and put it under a road discussion item number 4. And then because this had failed, previously by your, bylaws, you have to have a 2/3.
A special meeting can be added to the agenda.
Yeah, you could, if you really wanted to, consider, you can, hold off amending it to the committee, and someone could make a call for additions to the special meeting agenda at 5:05, starting time, which obviously is,
As soon as we finish this.
as soon as you finish this meeting, if you wanted to consider more immediate action and forego the committee meeting process.
Okay,
So
I'll do it on my meeting.
Okay.
the special meeting, someone could add it or make a motion to add it if the jury wanted to.
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Just give us a second.
Yeah, we're gonna address that after this meeting, we're gonna go into a special meeting, and someone's gonna make a motion to, go ahead and do it then.
Later on, not
Yes,
tonight.
Later on
Later
tonight,
on.
No,
Tonight.
probably,
in a
Go
few
do
minutes.
tonight.
Right.
In a few
probably 10 to 20 minutes from now.
Few minutes. Okay,
Everybody's getting excited tonight.
motion to adjourn.
No,
Too high.
You got items 2 and 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go, man. Okay, road item, discuss the overlay of Metcalf Road. It's time to go, man.
I asked Mr. Ernell if we could place this on the agenda. The Metcalf Road we currently have in the budget, we have $1.5 million allocated for the Metcalf Road. It's my understanding that the funding was to allow for a truck route to be placed on Metcalf Road, removing the trucks from Kyle Porter Road to Metcalf Road, and to upgrade the road to allow for that. You can see some of the pictures that Donald has on the screen there. We have those two 90-degree curves. That's the major concern with the truck traffic on that road. We'd have to do some realignment of those curves and get some property, seek some property, some right-of-way from those landowners. I would like to ask that we move forward with just an overlay on Metcalf Road and make sure the road committee is in agreement with that. Use a portion of that $1.5 million to upgrade the road, just to put a thin lift overlay, a 2-inch overlay on Metcalf Road, and maintain it as a non-truck route. Currently, Kyle Porter's about a half a mile, and this road's a mile long with the two curves. I think we'd be better served to leave the trucks where they are now. as well as you can see the use of Metcalf is currently agriculture residential. And Kyle Porter, it has one residence on it, so it's not all industrial, but for the large part, Kyle Porter is an industrial route. So that I would like to move forward with overlaying Metcalf, not upgrading it to a full truck route. If we can move, use the funds that we have allocated now to do that end of this year, beginning of next year. But I just wanted to run that by the committee to make sure. We really haven't discussed this whole truck route issue with the committee, as far as I'm aware. It was budgeted for last year, but I don't know of any discussion on it. So just making sure I'm on the right track with what the road committee and the jury wants to do in this scenario.
Yeah, you know I got a problem with it now, don't you? He would do that when he don't live at the end of that road. When you got 16 to 17 trucks in a row. I had to put me a place in the country just to get some sleep. We have to hear that all day, all night. They runs right down our residential neighborhood. Cause it comes straight down Kyle Porter and make that right. Where they going, these oil company, Metcalf Road, these folks the one making the money. But we have to put up with all that truck traffic. Mr. North can tell you yourself, he been out there sitting under my head. Ooh, Miss Burrell, thank God I don't know how y'all tolerate it. I requested that the money be put into Metcalf and take them 2 curves out so y'all could use that as an alternate route. It might not be but one person live on Kyle Porter, but it's a whole residential neighborhood when you get to 513 and all them trucks coming down through there. You don't know what it is to have to live, to hear all that truck, and that's all day, all night. Bloom, 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 bloom.
Breaking it down.
It is. I mean, just all night. My poor little dog be hoarse. She be barking so much.
So, I got a question.
Mr. Ross?
So what you saying, take it off the table completely, or just look at it in 2025?
It'd be my recommendation to take the truck route of going through Metcalf off the table and just overlay the road.
Coming down 513 and turning, okay.
That's what I'm asking. Do we want to move forward with just overlaying Metcalf and not pursue the truck route?
You know, the model was to try to keep all the chemicals out the neighborhoods with the trucking. Try to put it more in the rural areas, you know. That was the whole ideal behind this.
Yeah. And then, I don't have the exact numbers of, LA 513 is where the homes are impacted, Ms. Burrell and several others. That's where the impact is on LA 513, that where the homes are adjacent to the road to have the truck traffic. Metcalf has a mobile home that's immediately on the corner of LA 513 and Metcalf that would be impacted there, as well as 3 other residences. You know, there's several other homes, but I think 3 are occupied at this time, but not a large number, but there are homes on that road as
That's
well.
where our Lord wills at.
Yeah.
Off Metcalf.
But, no, this is just me asking, and making sure I'm moving in the right direction that the jury wants to move. If we need to move forward with a truck route in this area, we would like to seek some right-of-way from those landowners out there, so we need them to be cooperative. I did reach out to them, and they said that, you know, they want to be cooperative with the jury. They don't want to tell the jury no, but they're not in favor of a truck route. You know, I actually presented it to them, and they were aware of the situation already when I went and spoke with them last week, and they're not in favor of donating the land for a truck route through that.
Right.
Through that.
Yeah, but it's all right for us to have one come down our community. Yeah, and that's just not them few houses on 513. You got Meadow Park that sit there that affect. Sometimes it takes me 15, 20 minutes just to back off my driveway because of the truck traffic.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't most of the traffic, the truck traffic that goes down through town here, doesn't it come from the south and below Metcalf Road? So it's passing up Metcalf Road to get to.
It does. You're correct on that. Yes.
So I've always wondered that myself. Why do we have trucks coming down Kyle Porter Road instead of Metcalf Road? You know, I've always wondered that.
Yeah.
But
Just those 290s.
it looks to me like Metcalf would be the best route for the trucks. Are they just not willing to give the right of way, or basically because of the traffic on their street?
That was their answer to me was, you know, we don't want to oppose the police jury, but we prefer not to have a truck route through our.
But their log trucks can go up and down other people's roads?
And I have a question. I'm sorry, are you done?
They make money.
I'm through.
And I agree with you there. My question is, there's no way around, as far as, do we have to have this additional land from these private property owners?
You could have a
There's
truck
n-
route with existing curves. I mean, we know that trucks make ridiculous curves all the time through some of the rules. I mean, you can picture LA 3015 right there in Long Street. You know, they make a extreme curve right there, but it's not ideal. We don't want to plan that direction. We don't want to plan, you know, a road for them to have to make those turns and to navigate those obstacles. But this, if we want to pursue that, we still can. But then we haven't exhausted all options. But I just wanted to, you know, we're nearing the end of the year, and if we did not want to pursue the truck route on Metcalf, as I said, I wanted to just take the opportunity to pursue a simple overlay and get something done for the people out there, or get that. The road is in disrepair. You know, it does have a very old asphalt overlay. You know.
Well, and also trucks have been sneaking that way at night.
And we sent trucks down that way when we worked on Kyle Porter, so, you know, it was damaged some at that time. All the truck traffic was rerouted.
I mean, who gave them permission to make Kyle Porter the truck route? Cause that's not really the original truck route, right?
I don't have the answer to that. It was being used for trucks when I arrived, but,
The route that they.
I mean, the ideal situation was they stay on
The parish gave them
513.
permission, cause certainly the state did. The state route, because for as I'm concerned, they can go 175 and go our way, and come back up 513.
Like I said, I just wanted to have this for discussion for the road committee, so we were on the same page. If we want to table it and discuss it a little bit further, if y'all want to continue with looking at Metcalf as a truck route, we can do that either way.
Imagine, what was the cost to repair Kyle Porter Road? What was
What
it
did it
cost?
cost?
Yeah.
Oh, we had it lumped in with several other projects. Do you recall, Tom, what we spent on Kyle Porter?
Close to half a
At
million.
least 500,000, I would say.
And right now, that road is, I mean, it's smooth and.
It's smooth.
It took 'em forever to
That has
fix
ever
it.
been. So we continue to let the trucks go down. How long you think it'll last before it start getting a little wear and tear?
We only put 2 inches on the soil cement, so I'd say, you know, if
Wouldn't be that long,
truck
wouldn't it?
traffic, we'd probably need to go back and put an additional
Right.
2 inches within 5 years or so.
And
Go
it was
ahead, go ahead.
terrible. It was terrible, and I fussed till finally we got Kyle Porter done. And sometime I hated got done, cause them trucks, I'm telling you, it's miserable living where I live. Then you got trucks that's running the stop sign, coming all up on our driveways. And I watched the young man with them very trucks run up under one and burn up.
What's the pleasure of the committee?
Yeah.
I'm not on it, but, so I need an alternate,
Mr. Raines,
I need
Don't know.
an alternate, somebody need to
Mr. Fuller?
make an
I'm
alternate.
not on the committee.
I say continue
are.
They put me on there?
continue trying to get the truck route.
I should be
And
sitting
if
back
it can't
listening.
go that route, then we'll, you know, if that doesn't work out, then we'll go another route.
Okay.
Well, or how about
That's what we
you
had planned on.
go ahead and do your overlay on Metcalf and get us some hard numbers and come back.
Well, we'd want to upgrade, you know, we'd want to go ahead and rework
it
the
all at
base
one
course
time.
and
Do it all
everything
at
for
one
put trucks
time.
on it. It'd be,
Well, it's gonna be
I think, a
2
waste
years.
to put an overlay on it and then put an overlay on the existing structure and put trucks on it. I think we'd devastate that road still.
Let me ask you, there's some curves that you wanted to take out of that road as well, right?
Yeah, on Metcalf, yes, sir.
Yeah, have you figured that into the cost? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
the alternate cost?
Of course, we just did some rough estimating at budget time last year for that, but yes, sir, that 1.5 million was to allow for
No,
the,
okay.
the base course overlay and some of the right-of-way work that would be needed.
Okay.
That's what you need the additional property for?
Yes, sir, and straighten out some of those curves. Like I said, we can probably work within our existing right of way, it just wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be what you want to plan for as far as developing a truck route. But
Especially at night, truck couldn't pass each other in those curves.
all right, well, if that's the consensus, we'll move forward with pursuing the truck route.
Okay, all right. Okay, motion to adjourn?
Got one more?
Got one more?
Well, it's already on here from
He
this.
already.
Oh, man, ready to get out of here.
That's the man.
Discuss Laurel Street and KCS subdivision?
Discuss that.
Yeah, we already discussed. Yeah. I guess we need to come up with a plan.
Make a motion with adjourn.
A motion to adjourn. Second by Mr. Fuller. Motion by Mr. Holmes. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Someone vote. Aye. We are adjourned.
That's it.
One more. You want me to do this solid waste?
That's it, I think, before the special meeting, right?
Yeah.
Solid waste is
Call solid waste committee to order. Call for any additions and deletions. Hearing none. Guest and public comments. Hearing none. Solid waste item, discuss how scrap metal is being done at the landfill.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to discuss. So we're gonna discuss.
okay. I want to discuss this item because as you all know, we had a problem last time with the house, the scrap iron is being brought out of the landfill. So I told y'all then I wasn't gonna give up on it. I was gonna keep up with it, and I have been. I can tell you every time it has come out. But then when I called and asked for copies of invoices and receipts, this same man that got all the scrap iron out of the landfill the last time and got to pay a little or nothing for it. Haven't paid a bill yet. If he did, it's been within the last week or so. Because when I called the last week or so and asked for the figures, there was none. I want to know what's the process we doing, Ms. Garcia, now?
Mr. May I ask a question, please, before? Who did you call, the solid waste for invoices or?
Now, I called Ms. Garcia and asked for the invoices for this company's invoices and stuff. It wasn't in it. So then I called solid waste and asked for the tickets. Then they tell me that this company, they don't even recall this company even coming through the scales. And I'm like, what? And they was like, well, we got the Cashel Metal. And I'm saying, no, Cashel Metal didn't get the bid.
Yeah, but the proper procedure is, it gotta come from the solid waste before it comes to the main office, I thought.
I'm telling you.
Nobody from the solid waste is sending the invoices to the main office?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, that's what I'm trying to see. Is
What the
the
process?
invoices now?
I talked to you last week, Ms. Burrell, and I told you to give me a chance to get to that with, not an excuse, but I have new software budget, everything else going on. I did send a bill this morning to DeSoto Iron Scrap Metal. I did run a receipt on that account. I have copies of all the invoices, the tipping tickets. But, I do account for the solid waste department to send me something. I do have access to their software, so what I did was went ahead and looked up the account, and it lists all the tickets. I tally all those up last week. Like I said, I do apologize. A company cannot pay me without me invoicing them, so I did took care of that this morning. just to let you know, I invoiced them at $7,808. I have tickets from May all the way to October the 9th. But there is an account, so when you call solid waste over there, there is an account set up for DeSoto Ironworks. But like I told you when you call me that I will take care of it, I just have been overwhelmed with different issues going on at the office. But I did promise you that I will not let it go past like the previous time that he had that work.
Mr. Baker.
But the process is when he goes out there, he gets his ticket, he gets his weight, his ton weighed in. He sends me a copy through text of what the American steel price is for the day. And then what we do is we go ahead and take his fixed rate off of that. Whatever that price is for the day, I think it's 110 was his fixed price to go out there and cover his costs. Whatever's left, I multiply that times the tonnage on that ticket. And I do have an Excel sheet with the spreadsheet that I keep up all that information.
Okay, so is he supposed to be using our equipment to load scrap iron for him?
That, ma'am, I'm not at the landfill to tell you if he's using that equipment or not.
Okay, well, yeah, he used our equipment, and I know when the bid went out, that was not what was on the contract. Because when it went up for bid, I got a copy.
Yes, ma'am, and it is, they have to use, like I said, their equipment, everything to take care of. I think the only thing we're supposed to do is dump it from whomever's out there, dump it to his, I guess his hauling box or whatever you want to call it.
You said, excuse me, you said we're supposed to dump it?
Yes, that is how the previous contracts have always been. We have one of our equipment operators out there that goes ahead and puts that scrap for them to haul.
I'm just trying to get clarity, okay, so.
Like I said, that will be out of my realm. I'm not a solid waste to let you know that.
Mr. Josh, can you mind explaining? Yes. So if, like the scrap that's out there on the hill?
We load it.
Y'all dump, okay. So, but do we load it on his vehicle?
And
No,
that's always been the case.
Are we supposed to do that?
Per the bid, yes.
I'm like Mr. Pereira, because when we did the contract, the people had to load their own scrap. Wasn't that in the contract?
No. It's never been that way.
That's what I'm, Ms. Baker, you remember that? Your memory pretty good.
It says that
I can understand why we load it.
That's,
Instead of expecting him to bring another piece of equipment out to load it itself. I understand why that's being done. My only thing is, we need to get the contracts changed where he can load it with our equipment.
why?
Because
he
because
need
it
to be
saves
there?
us money.
How he need to be using our equipment? We just have
Because
we
it
just-
saves us
We
money.
just out of money. Y'all talking about the equipment getting tore up. So why would we let a civilian come to the landfill and use our equipment? What happens if something happens? Or he come up dead? We gonna get the hell sued out of it. I'm telling you that now.
It all depends how you write a contract.
Yeah, now, he don't need to be using the parish equipment, Mr. Baker. He don't. He,
Fine.
the
Well,
contract says he need to
Load
use.
it for him
See
then.
those contracts, what we did, what the bids we took?
I can email you a copy.
Yeah, cause I mean,
remember,
if
like
I,
said,
if I was,
my memory ain't good, that's just that great, but I remember
I got a
they
copy
had
of
to
it.
supply their
'cause
own
if I-
equipment to load.
Now, when we discussed this originally, it's the same thing as far as us having a liability of him getting up at that landfill and tearing up something. You know, you don't want someone that is not experienced out there going ahead and having that machinery and start digging for that scrap. That's when we discussed that, but it's always been that one of our equipment operators loads that into that equipment.
Well, it wasn't
I
that
think y'all
day.
people,
He was loading it. He was using our equipment, and it left us the doors wide open for us, a nice little lawsuit Because if I was the other person that bid it, I would be questioning that. That would be into question, because that totally breaks the contract right there, because it specifically says he's supposed to have his own stuff.
Josh?
We can pull the contract, but my recollection is that we were supposed to load the scrap. But we can pull it and present it to y'all.
Don't say that.
Okay, that's fine. Josh, that's happened one time, right? And weren't you held responsible for that incident happening? And you were reprimanded because it happened? And it has not happened since, is that correct? Thank you, sir.
Miss Amy, he been reprimanded for that happening? See what I'm talking about? Okay.
Any other discussion?
No.
See what I'm talking about?
Motion to adjourn?
So move. Second.
Any discussion? We're adjourned.
Oh, man, Ms. Garcia, if I may ask, you said you're not getting the tickets from the landfill at a timely manner?
I'm not. Like I said, I do have access to the software. So what I did, I was logged in myself and printed those.
Well, you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, that's,
Log in yourself.
yeah. That's my
Well,
point.
from just hearing Ms. Burrell, the girl's saying that there's no account. I mean, there's an account. So I will get with the girls and let them know what that account number is.
Saying Cashier Dine, Cashier Dine. I said, no, I'm not talking about Cashier Dine.
Well,
They
Mr.
don't
Josh,
know.
if you don't mind, I got a request. Could you make sure that those invoices
Get up
his
here
main office?
in a timely manner.
Thank you. Special meeting called to order. We're gonna roll right down into our special meeting. We already did the implication, but we're gonna stop at the additions and deletions to the agenda. I have one to, put Laurel Street back on the agenda for the cross drain outflow.
So move.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion, and I got a second. Yeah, cross drain outflow. Yeah, to give the engineers permission. Roll call vote, Mr. Baker?
Aye.
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 Just to get to put on it. We'll move that down to number 3. New business. You got something?
No, he said never mind.
New business, select and appoint of an individual to fill the vacancy police jury seat for District 1C because of vacancy caused by the recent passing of District 1C representation, Mr. Keith Parker. We have two candidates, Mr. Stacy Justins and Mr. Cody Justin. Johnston.
They here?
Yes, I guess, okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna vote on each name. You wanna put on the board or roll call, which is easier
Allow
for
them to
you?
speak?
Go in here for them.
Yeah. Mr. Stacy, please. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you sent in a letter.
Well, I've been in the construction business for 32 years. Most recently, I'm 6 years as a general manager for a company that produces concrete, and we ship these large concrete plants around the country, and we do a lot of DOD work, FAA work.
Yeah.
So my background is road construction. I worked for TL James for about 16 years. You know, I've been a resident since October 26 of '95 of Stanley. I'm currently a constable for District 3. I was elected 4 years ago. And I had routine conversations with Mr. Keith throughout his tenure.
Okay, good to know. That's it?
Well,
That sums it up, huh?
I don't want to, y'all have been here quite a while already, but, you know, I feel like
Simple
this-
man.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions for him? No questions? Thank you. And we have Mr. Cody Johnston.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Ross, and members of the jury, I just want to address you tonight. First of all, thanks for the opportunity, but the reason why I have this opportunity is very unfortunate. Mr. Keith was actually a relative of mine, so kin down the line, I should say. I should say, but I don't want. I hate that we're here under these circumstances. I know that my grandfather vacated that seat the same way with his passing, and that's when Mr. Keith was appointed. So, just a little bit about me. For those of y'all that don't know me, I think I've had personal conversation with each and every one of you over the years. Lifelong Stanley resident, DeSoto Parish resident, 2002 graduate of Stanley High School. I've been in oil and gas since 2006 when I got out of college. I owned a paving company for going right at 3 years. We had a paving company, and we did a lot of entrance ways for, I think the jury passed to where you had to have at least a 10-foot entranceway off of a parish road. So we did a lot of those for companies like Chesapeake, JW Operating, and so on. El Paso was one of them. But my public experience, I was elected just 2 days ago. It was 14 years ago. I was elected to the DeSoto Parish School Board to represent District 6. In my time there, I've served on the Finance Committee. I've served as president 3 times of the school board. I currently serve on the board of directors for the Louisiana School Board Association, which we in direct contact with 14 parishes and 14 superintendents, 14 board sets of board members. I feel like I have a clear understanding of tax dollars, how tax dollars are supposed to be sent, how they're received. I think that I have experience, obviously, working alongside fellow board members, which one of them's here today. If appointed, I bring experience of working alongside others, and I also bring experience of knowing the tax dollars. But I will say this, I've talked to almost every one of y'all individually, and I think I've said that I think your choice either way will be correct. Mr. Stacy, I've known him since he got here in '95. I was a kid, but I was best friends with his brother-in-law. So you've got 2 great people going after the same position, and I think that whichever way y'all go, I think you're making the right decision. So I appreciate y'all's time.
Mr.
Thank
Johnson,
you.
One question.
Question.
Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
School board.
Yeah.
Y'all got way more money than we have, man.
Thank
Why
you.
you want to come
Thank
over
you.
here? Why you want to come over here,
You
man?
trying to make me
Struggle.
bring? You want me to bring some of it with me? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're struggling over here. You guys don't have that problem over there.
We run into our issues. We have, just like any other entity. I guess we run into our issues too. But I mean, we have a lot of maintenance and upkeep, just like y'all do. No board or entities any greater than the other one. We just may take in a few more dollars. So.
All right.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Thank y'all.
It ain't easy being cheese.
So if there's no more discussion, we'll take a. Okay. Well, we'll do Mr. He's on the first on the agenda, Mr. Stacy Justin. We'll start with a roll call vote. Mr. Fuller. Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 Remind me again, who was this?
Mr. Stacy.
Mr. Stacy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I was a no.
Okay.
No.
This is a hard one, man.
Ms. Burrell?
No.
Mr. Baker?
This is a hard one.
Yes.
So what do we do now?
Yeah. What's the count?
I can say more.
What's the count? What's the count?
It's tied, so tied don't fail, so you have to.
I'll make a motion that we present it to the governor and let him know we're
Well,
unable.
Well,
We got
you
the
have to
vote.
vote, you still have to vote on Mr. Johnson.
Right.
Because someone could change your
I
vote.
get to be a
Right,
time.
could change your
We
vote.
have 11 jurors, how do you get to be a tie? 10.
Yeah. So, because of it was a tie, Mr. Stacy, we failed that. So now, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Baker.
No.
I mean, what are you doing?
Yes, it is a
What we
tie.
doing?
It's
It's a tie.
It was a
Voting on
tie.
Johnston.
Somebody could change their vote, is what they're saying.
Yeah, you vote on Johnston.
You voting? Are you gonna vote, Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Wait.
Let me say this, just for the record, we do know if it's a tie, the governor probably gonna pick. Just putting it out there.
The law provides, I believe it's 20 days. If you don't fill the vacancy within 20 days, the governor appoints.
How many days
The
do we have
governor
now?
appoint.
It'll be November 12th.
Yeah,
We have until the 12th.
to 12.
We can come back and just leave them, come back and.
Mr. Baker.
Oh, you starting to vote over again?
Yeah, before Mr. Cody Johnson.
No.
Ms. Burrell.
Yes.
Ernell.
Yes.
Mr. Raines.
No.
Yes.
You broke the vote.
No.
Mr. Owens.
No.
Mr. Lathan.
Yes.
Ms. Trina.
Yes.
No.
Yes, Phil.
Yes.
Mr. Cody have 6 yes, 4 no's. So Mr. Cody, where are you? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Now, we will have to get him sworn in so he can sit in for the next regular meeting. Yeah.
Mr. Wood
Number
back
2.
there.
Arthur?
You better let me get chewed up.
Okay, number 2, authorize the president to sign a proclamation order to call a special election to be held to fill the vacancy in the office of DeSoto Parish Police Jury District 1C for the unexperienced term thereof, to set the dates thereof and other potential matter, and to otherwise provide with respect to thereto.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Jones,
Second.
second by Mr. Fuller and Mrs. Trina Boyd. Discussion?
Oh, shoot, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Which one are we doing here?
Roll call vote. We'll do that way.
Okay.
No.
Roll call vote on number 2. Okay. Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
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 Ayes have it. Item number 3.
You don't eat much candy.
Lower Street cross drain outflow,
I was 24 pounds.
outflow ditch. Vote on to, well, you got to,
To speed this up?
the engineering and road department.
Yeah, because that needs to be worked on.
So what's the motion?
Yeah, what is the motion?
Motion is to, put rocks on the outflow cross drains on Lower Street. Some people call them boulders, some people call them big rocks. Hold up, let me just say too, it says the problem.
Can we just state to establish a drainage easement?
Right, right.
And maintain the drainage easement however it needs to be,
Okay.
if that'd be.
Right, I'd rather go that route.
So, I mean, for a motion, but what are we?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how it's gonna be. Is that good, Mr. Reister? Okay.
I motion that.
No,
But-
for Laura Street.
The motion is to authorize the body to establish a drainage easement in the area that we're discussing on Laurel Street and near the drainage.
So moved.
Ms. Burrell made the motion, who second?
Mr., do you have a question, Mr.?
Okay.
Did we
Richard?
make a second? We get a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Okay.
So is this we're doing this as a temporary fix to just work on it right now? Put something in place so the trees won't collapse and fall on this property, or?
This would be, we can make it a permanent or a temporary drainage easement servitude. I'd say go ahead and if you think this
Permanent.
is something we need to maintain, go ahead and make
Yes.
it permanent, we'll maintain it.
Okay, that's my question. Okay.
Roll call vote, Mr. Fuller. Oh, you got it? If there's no more discussion, please vote. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
We'll adjourn. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming out.
Ha